Hi everyone, this is CA Muhammed Althaf. So today I came up with a topic that is not related to a syllabus, it's totally out of syllabus. That is GST on petroleum product. What if the government brings GST on petroleum product? How it is going to affect the petroleum prices, etc. That is exactly I'm going to focus on it. So the reason why I'm actually doing it, this video is that we all of us know that there is a huge discussion is going on, among the government officials, that to bring the GST on petroleum product also, and also in social, this big thing is doing round on the social media, and also like some rumors is that petroleum product will be available as lowest as possible, right? So my analysis is based on whether it is possible to bring the GST on petroleum product, and also whether whether it is whether it is possible first of all, and then if it is possible, how the price will be reduced, and what are the legal provisions. That is what exactly I'm focusing on today. So let me try this screen for you. Okay, so this is actually textbook which I've prepared, that is for CA and CMA. Okay, that's not that's not my subject for today, but anyway, we all of us know that the GST is introduced with a view to abolish all the existing tax regimes, like indirect tax, like excise duty, service tax, VAT, etc. So the GST, or a hero, Rocky Bai, the Rocky Bai actually could abolishes many of the indirect taxes like service tax, VAT, etc. on almost all the products. But the Rocky Bai, the GST is actually failed to some extent. That is, the Rocky Bai could not fight against the GST, the indirect tax, VAT, and excise duty on petroleum products. So to that extent, GST is a failure. That means the Rocky Bai is a failure. So let's analyze why the government is not ready to bring the GST on this petroleum product, and is it possible to bring that GST on petroleum product? All things that we are going to analyze. So before that, let us try to understand why GST is kept outside the purview of the why petroleum product kept outside the purview of the GST. What is the legal provisions? So if you're my students, or you're already attended the GST classes, it will be, you already might have studied. But anyway, for my friends who have never attended GST, let me introduce you a section called section 9. Okay, we have a section called section 9 of the CGST Act. This is a charging section. Charging section means this section would say you that which all things are coming under GST, etc. So the section 9 subsection 2 clearly says, okay, let's read that section once. Section 9 subsection 2 says that central tax, that simply means CGST, that means GST, on the supply of petroleum crude, high-speed diesel, motor spirits, that is petrol, natural gas, aviation fuel, turbine fuel, shall be levied with effect from such a date as may be notified. We are all waiting for that date to which it on which it will be notified, but I'm sure that will never gonna happen. Okay, so anyway, let's see. So this is the provision which is keeping the petroleum product outside the purview of GST. Okay, so I've summarized here. These petroleum products are kept outside the purview of GST. So that means for the time being, there is no GST on this. Then what else it is coming? Is it tax-free? Not a tax-free, because as I told you that the Rocky Bai, that is GST, could not fight against the VAT, excise duty on the petroleum products. That means still indirect tax is there, still VAT is there, still excise duty is there on petroleum, etc., and also some tobacco, etc., that we are not going to discuss. But you have to understand that still excise duty, VAT is there under on these petroleum products. Okay, now let's getting into some hypothetical situations. Okay, what if the government introduced? Okay, that's it. And before that, okay, that I'll tell you. So what if we are what about, okay, what if the GST brings on petroleum products? Let's try to understand what is the current scenario of the taxation on the petroleum. Okay, first of all, let's understand that. I've already, to save the time, I already written off here how the petroleum is taxed under the existing regime. Okay, So listen, this actually I've rounded off to 40. It's not exactly 40. It comes to some 39 something. Okay. So these figures is 90 to 95 only correct. Okay, because there's a small variation. No issues, because that will not affect us, affect our analysis anyway. Now listen. So for example, the petroleum is actually getting by the dealers at rupees 40. Exact price is actually per liter. This is actually per liter. Okay, per liter. It's actually how much it is coming. 40 rupees. Believe me, around 40 rupees the 1 liter petrol is getting. And what happens? The central government will come into play as a villain, first villain, play excise duty. They're saying that out of 40 rupees, I need to get 34 rupees as an excise duty because you produce the petrol. That is why I need to get the excise duty 34, excise duty 34 rupees. Fine, you take it. Then there is a dealer's commission. Comparatively, it's very low, right? 3.6. Okay, around 3.6. Dealers will get the commission per 1 liter. Then state government will say central government is taking 34. Then why I'm not taking the tax? Okay, let you also take. They are taking 22.8 rupees. So together it will come how much? It's 40 plus 34 plus 3.6 plus 22.8. I think it's 100.4, I guess, right? If any small calculation mistake, you pardon me. Okay, anyway. So anyway, it is crossing 100 rupees. So this is how it is crossing. Okay. Because this is a base price 40 rupees. That is what exacting is, right? 40 rupees. That amount, that thing is, for you getting it for 100 and 100.4 rupees. It's insane. Okay, so that means together central government and state government collecting 56.8 rupees as a tax amount from us for 1 liter. Believe me, for 1 liter they're collecting 56.8 rupees as a tax. Huge. So if it is taken a percentage, let's analyze how much percentage they're collecting. That we will analyze. Okay, anyway. So this is the current tax regime, right? Now listen. Now, what if the GST brings on petroleum product? What happens? It is a totally hypothetical situation. Tell me, okay? If the GST in the present scenario, how GST is there, if they're exact as such they're introducing on petrol, what would happen to the petroleum price? Let's see. See, there is a section called, in the same section what we discussed, section 9. Section 9, subsection 1 says that subject to subsection 2, there shall be levied a tax called CGST on all the intrastate supply except on alcoholic for human consumption. There is another controversy things that we'll discuss in another video. Okay, on the value determined under section 15. Section 15 is the value of supply section. Okay, and at such rate not exceeding 20%. This is a CGST. Okay, for the freshers, that means for the first time you hearing about the GST, you have to understand that there is a 3 GSTs called CGST, SGST, IGST. Either IGST alone will come or CGST, SGST together will come. That means in effect, I've already given here, maximum GST government can bring on a product, on any product. That is CGST 20%, SGST 20%. That means together it is 40%. But the current highest rate, as per the notification, what is the current highest rate on any product? It is 14. That means maximum GST that is collecting, like luxury cars, etc., tobacco, etc. It is collecting 28%. Okay, so what I'm assuming is that government is actually bringing the GST in the same form. Now it is actually existing to the petrol. Okay, what happens? So that means they can collect only 14 as a CGST. They can collect only 14. This is a percentage. Okay, 14%. Now listen. So if that happens, what will be the impact on petroleum product? Let's see. See, base price, I told you that 40 rupees, right? Base rate, base is actually 40. Okay, and then dealers commission also will get added. I'm just ignoring for the time being. Okay, we have to just analyze it, right? So 40 rupees is the base price. Now, what would be the CGST? That is 14%, because the current highest rate is only 14%. Okay, if the government want to amend, they can amend, but also maximum 20%. Okay, in that case also, it will not be much, right? So that means CGST will be 5.6 and SGST will be 5.6, and total amount will be 51.2. Manassi leddu botti. Let's analyze. Okay, that means the total petrol price would be reduced to 51.2 as against 100 rupees now. Exactly half rupees, right? So as someone promised during the elections and all, yeah, they will be giving the petroleum at 50 rupees, etc. So that is the exact scenario. If the GST they're introducing in a right manner and right way, it will be definitely they can provide at 51.2. That means like around 50 or 60. Okay. Now let's analyze the revenue loss to the government in case they actually introduce the GST. What would be the revenue loss? Okay, per liter. Okay, as a common man, we can understand that pre-GST scenario, that means existing scenario. Before that, let me tell you that the CGST will be getting by the central government. Okay, and the state SGST will be getting by the state government. All of us know that, right? CGST for the central government, SGST for the state government. Okay, and likewise excise duty was for the central government and VAT for the state government. Okay, so the pre-GST scenario, that means existing scenario, the government, central government was collecting 34 rupees per liter and the state government is collecting 22.8 rupees per liter. So if this GST coming, what happens is that it will be reduced to 5.6 for the central government, 5.6 for the state government. That means per liter, the loss to the state government, and central government would be loss to the state government. It will be 28.4 rupees per liter, and loss to the state government rupees 17.2 rupees per liter. So yesterday, I think I've read an article whereby, actually, what is that person's name? I forgot. Anyway, is a Rajya Sabha, right? Rajya Sabha member. He was analyzing that. And if the GST introducing on these petroleum product, they're saying that, the government will have to forego about 5 lakhs crore rupees in a year. 5 lakh crore rupees in a year if the GST is actually introducing on the petroleum product. Okay, now let's see. Actually, central government is ready to forego that, for example. Then whether state government will be ready to that, I'm sure that they will be no. Why they are not ready to do is that this is the one of the major revenue that is any state government is getting, right? This VAT is they're directly getting. VAT is 22.8 rupees per liter, and that they actually directly getting that amount. But what if GST introduced, or as I told you, that they will have to forego, they will have to incur a loss of 17.2 rupees revenue for every liter they're selling. So there is another provision called, what is that? GST Compensation to Act 2017. There is an act, they, along with the introduction of GST, they introduced another act called GST Compensation to Act 2017. What is the purpose of it is, while introducing the GST, there is a huge revenue loss to the state governments. Many state governments, especially like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, etc., because they are the more manufacturing or productive states. So they will be incurring more loss because of introduction of like GST. So in order to compensate that loss, government introduced a concept called GST Compensation to State Act 2007. That means central government has to compensate the state governments for their loss because of the GST. How they going to compensate it? Will they take from their pocket and give it to the state government? That's not possible, because that is not a case of 1,000 crores or 2,000 crores. That's a huge lakhs of crore rupees, right? So that is not possible for a central government to take off out of their pocket and give it to the state government. So that what they will do is that they will put additional tax burden on different products. It's like pan masala, tobacco, cigarettes, coal, all those products. Okay, they actually collecting it additionally. Okay, in addition to the normal GST, they're collecting another tax called GST compensation cess, and those amount which will be distributing to the state which is incurred losses. So what I actually meant to say is that if the central government want to introduce a GST, what they will have to do, they will have to put additional GST burden on different products to compensate those states. So if they actually introduce a GST, what would happen? Petroleum will be free from the VAT excise duty, and petroleum will be getting this much lowest price. But what would happen for another products? For another products, they will levy more GST compensation cess. So the price of that products will be high, but that will be demerit products. That means tobacco, etc. No problem. Okay, let them suffer. But anyway, what my analysis that this 51.2 or about 60 rupees will get the petrol. But my analysis that they will not bring the GST on the petrol in the recent, I think maybe 8 to 10 years. My analysis is that, because of different articles I've read. My analysis that they will not bring the GST on petroleum products for the next 8 to 10 years. Maybe, okay, it can happen also otherwise. But anyway, why the thing is that, and another interesting thing I've read yesterday that if they want to introduce a GST on the petroleum product, the government is thinking about alternate option. Okay, Nirmala Sitharaman, our finance minister, she's told that we are actually not planning a pure GST. She said in a statement, they said we are planning not a pure GST on the petroleum product. What is a pure, not a pure GST? That what they meant to say is that if they actually introducing GST, how they will introduce is that base price will be there. So for example, 40, then they will insert VAT. Okay, that about 30 rupees. Then on that, they will not introduce the GST. And also that GST will not be 28%, that will be more, probably 40%. Okay, so even after introduction GST, the price will be around 90 to 100. That will be same price. Okay, so even if they're planning to introduce GST, that's not a pure GST. Okay, as the government official says, that will not be a pure GST. What is it? Not a pure GST. That means it's a mixture of, it is a combination of GST with VAT. That is what government yesterday said. So if and also they've clarified that all these states, every state, okay, including Kerala, every state, they oppose the introduction of GST on petroleum. So there is no hope, in fact. But even if it is, they introduce, like even if it is central government taking a stand that okay, we are going to introduce a GST because people are asking for it, even if it happens, it will be happen in this way, not this way. This is a total hypothetical situation. Total hypothetical situation. But in fact, if they actually introduce GST, it will be this combination: base price, VAT, and then GST. Why? Because otherwise, the government will have to compensate the state government. That will be another burden for the central government, right? So they will not take away the VAT, but instead what they'll do is that they will introduce the GST. So this is what going to happen. So I hope you all of you understood the concept of taxation of the GST, petroleum product currently, and what would happen if the GST introduced, and what is they going to do is another thing, right? So thank you very much. I hope it was a useful session. So if you found it is good, please share with your friends. Thank you very much.